Hi, how's everybody doing? This is the International Swerve, Shane Strickland. If you're watching this, that means that you are logged on to ShaneSwerveStrickland.com. I want to thank you all for submitting all your questions, and here I am to read them to you. I'd like to thank my sponsors from PureAware for all the gear that y'all supply me with, and I'd like to thank my new acquired sponsor, Fox Pizza Den. Fox Pizza Den out on Lancaster and Willow Street. Great pizza. They help with Lancaster Championship Wrestling, another company that I'm familiar with, and like to thank everybody who subscribes to the website and who checks me out and comes to my shows and supports what I do. So let's get this questionnaire started. All right, first question comes through Kevin Lee, and he writes, "Hey man, I love you as Killshot on Lucha Underground. Much appreciated. Your performances were awesome and always mind-blowing, and love the character. I wanted to know that if you have a strict wrestling diet, and what's it like, and do you have any favorite cheat meals?" Truth be told, my diet is very, very, what's a good way to put it? I don't really have one, truth be told. I don't really gain weight. What I really do is just I try to stay away from eating a lot of sugar all the time. I'm a really big junk food junkie, so I definitely try to eat as much vegetables as I can with my meals. Try to have like 3 or 4 meals a day, and I try to eat a lot of fruits as well. So I try to replace snack time with fruits. That always helps. And as far as like what's my favorite cheat meal, I love cheesesteak sandwiches. I love like Wawa gas station foods, and I love like Sheetz gas station meals and stuff. So I like to have a lot of sandwiches a lot. So that really hurts my diet sometimes. Next question from Jack Daniels. Which plans you have for the future, and are you ready for title matches? I'm always ready for title matches. Plans for the future, I plan to do a lot more international tours with a lot more international companies. So I definitely want to get back to England. I want to go to Mexico, and I want to try Japan for the first time. So I'm definitely looking at those avenues of where I want to veer my future and with my career. Ronnie Dayvault asks, why are you back at GXW? Also, Jay Boogie, my ex tag team partner, returned at the Powhatan Fair. Does that mean that the Holy Union is back together? And what are your GXW dream matches, and how does it feel to be Respect Champion? So you got like 4 or 5 questions in one questionnaire. That's fine by me. That means you're more interested. First question, I'm back at GXW because I always feel like it's important for anybody who's trained you in the past to give back to them in some way, some way or form. And I don't feel like that's happened enough in the pro wrestling business today. I don't feel like a lot of guys have took an appreciation for what who the guys were that introduced them to the business and introduced them to the in-ring aspects of the art of pro wrestling, and given back to them after they've gone on to bigger and better places and made a substantial amount of money. You know, so I always feel like it's important to go back and show appreciation and definitely let the people know that you haven't forgotten your roots and where you've come from. I'm never too big of a person to just be like, no, I won't go back to the place that trained me and where I started, because I moved on from them, because I know they haven't moved on from me, and I know that I will always be welcome at Ground Zero with open arms. And I just want them to know that I appreciate that kind of stuff. Karma goes a long way. Also, Jay Boogie returned to Powhatan Fair. Does that mean the Holy Union is getting back together? Anything is possible in the pro wrestling business. Nobody's ever completely retired. Nobody's ever completely gone. No tag team's ever completely separated. So anything's possible. As of right now, there are no future plans to, but that could all change. You never know. What is my GXW dream matches? I was really good close friends with the Pharaoh. He taught me everything I know about working in the ring, in-ring psychology, and how to be a character, you know, and how to be a ring general. So I would definitely like to do a student versus the master type of dream match one day for Ground Zero. So I would definitely love for that to happen. That's a match that I would hold deep in my heart, truth be told. And how does it feel to be Respect Champion? Respect Championship. The Respect Championship was made around the first time that the first year that I wrestled with Ground Zero, my first year of wrestling at all. And the Respect title was brought around the same time. Ground Zero's 0 hour event, Ground Zero's WrestleMania. They brought the title around that time, and I always thought it was a very prestigious title, and I always wanted to hold it since then as a singles competitor when I broke into the singles competition. So I always feel that as though that the GXW Respect Championship defined a lot of what I stood for, and I felt like me and that championship, like that really we really mirrored each other. You know, I always wrestle for respect, and the title is the Respect Championship. So I feel like I not just earned it, but I felt like I was entitled to it in some sort of way. So it means a lot to me to hold the Respect Championship, and it means a lot to me that the people are happy that I am Respect Champion. You know. So next question is from CM Styles. What is it like to play the role of Killshot on Lucha Underground? Only on the El Rey Network, as everybody can see. I love it because I'm a huge comic book fan, and I'm a huge fan of like fictional characters and superheroes and having a different identity. So when I'm Shane Strickland traveling the independent wrestling circuit, it's always fun to just be myself and let the fans like generate off of my energy, because I always try to put out as much positive energy as myself as possible. But in the Killshot character in the Lucha Underground Temple, it's really cool to try to be somebody else. You know, let your mind and imagination run as wild as possible, and try to create something completely new. You know, it's a great feeling, and it's a great freedom. It's a great feeling to have the producers and the writers of the show give me so much freedom to be as elaborate as I can with the character, and I get to play with it as much as I want to, use different camera angles, come in the ring different ways, different movements, different move styles, and yet still be myself. It's a really awesome experience. So, next question is from K-Lock. Will we ever see you perform in Wisconsin? If there are any wrestling promotions in Wisconsin that's willing to book me, I am always willing to come to Wisconsin, and I'm willing to go anywhere. So, Wisconsin promoters, hit me up, and K-Lock, contact Wisconsin Promotions and ask for Shane Strickland. I'll go out there, bruh. Next question comes from Steve Parker. Is it difficult to wrestle in a mask, and was it hard to get used to? At first, it was a little bit difficult because the mask was very tight on my nose, and it was hard for me to breathe at certain times, so I had to constantly keep pulling the nose part of the mask off my nose so I could breathe a little bit. But then after a while, I gotten used to it, and I found a ways to like tie it at a good comfort level for me, so it wasn't so tight on me, but it wasn't so loose that it was moving around. So now I'm really used to the mask. I'm really adjusted. I'm happy to have a mask that has an open mouth so I can breathe and speak and have facial expressions as well. So that's really cool to me as well. The last question comes from Thomas Black. Well, what was it like feuding with Devin Moore of CZW? You had some good matches with some crazy stuff in it. Also, what's it like? What's the craziest thing you've done in the ring? It was awesome feuding with Devin Moore. I remember the first time I ever came to CZW that Devin Moore was the heavyweight champion at the time, and I've looked up to him ever since. Seeing him at Cage of Death 13 again in a four-way with Masada, Scotty Vortex, and Robert Ego. So that was amazing, and I thought he was the man ever since then. So me being able to run a whole program with him and feud with him, I thought that was like amazing, and it was definitely one of the things I wanted to accomplish in CZW as in a bucket list for me, was to work with Devin Moore. We had good matches as far as like ladder matches and panes of glass matches, which is something I wanted to do as well. Main event for CZW in a singles match, so I was able to accomplish that with Devin Moore and to beat a Triple Crown winner of CZW, the only man, one of the few only men to do that in CZW, to hold every title in the company. So being able to beat him in a match that favors him, that was amazing. That was amazing time, and that was definitely a really turning point in my career for CZW. And the craziest thing I've ever done, I feel like the Panes of Glass match with Devin Moore at Night of Infamy of 2014. That was the craziest thing. A lot of glass. Still have a lot of scars from it since then. And another one of the craziest things I've done was aerial assault match. All of them. Every single one was crazy and stupid, insane, dumb things, jumping off of high places. Kids don't try it at home. Other wrestlers in the world, don't try it at home. Don't try it ever, because it's really dangerous. And if you don't need to do it, you don't have to. So that goes the closing of all the questions from my Shane Strickland questionnaire. And thank you guys for submitting everything. And I appreciate all the support and the continued support. So stay tuned. I'm always going to have something new coming up every month. So keep coming to the website, ShaneSwerveStrickland.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at StricklandShane. And like my fan page on Facebook, Strickland, Shane Strickland. Boom.